I'm here with the Queen of the North, Joanne Jobin.
It doesn't have to say what you do again.
She's gone.
I got the giggles.
I'm keeping that. We're keeping that
Oh
in.
my God, that's the best.
Come on, you're
All
here.
right.
You're here in my neck of the woods.
Yes, I know.
Queenie,
I know.
What are you doing here?
Well, I came to see some investors.
Right.
We are here. We've got, as you know, our conference is in Quebec City, the mining investment event of the North.
Yep.
And it's in June 19th to 21st.
Right.
We had our inaugural one this year. We're gearing up for year 2. It's going amazing.
It was good. It was one of the best ones I've been to.
Thank you.
And that's why I'm delighted to be associated with it. Copper
Thank
sponsor,
you.
folks. Copper sponsor. But the other thing is you've gone international. That's what's happening here, right?
Yes.
Because people are saying, oh, is it for Quebec companies?
Yes.
No is the answer.
Yes.
We're here for everyone.
Exactly. I like to say we are exclusive but inclusive.
Right.
So we've really concentrated on bringing in every commodity. Of course, there'll be a nice focus on critical metals this year. But we are very focused on all commodities.
Right.
And, we've got a fantastic student sponsorship with Maple Gold Mines
Tell everyone about
and
this.
with
This is
JDS.
awesome.
This is the reason why I'm here and I'm in mining. I really want to make a difference. And, yes, I want to do a Tier 1 conference in Canada, but again, we need to include everyone. So there's a fantastic student sponsorship by JDS and Maple Gold Mines. And that sponsorship will bring 50 students to the event, sponsored for 3 days, hotel room, the whole 9 yards, and the sponsors will hold a dinner for them where it'll be a meet and greet, ask questions. The students will have to do a business case study. There'll be a prize announced to the best team that came up with the best case study.
Right.
And that will be announced at the conference. Now, I know what the prize is, and I can tell you it's a banger. I can't talk about it, but Maple Gold Mines has come up with an amazing prize.
Fantastic.
We're really, really happy about that. And they'll be in the audience. They'll be listening. They'll be asking questions. They will be networking with executives and mining people, and we'll have an area where they can post their resumes. This is not a job fair. I want to be very clear to them about that. This is for them to have a mining experience with the top people in the industry.
Brilliant. Access to some of the biggest names in the sector, which is fantastic. I think it's also quite good because I speak a lot to companies, as you know, and one of the biggest complaints we get is that we just don't have the skills necessarily coming through.
Right.
Right? So obviously they're already kind of committed, they want to get in the industry, but to have access to some of the best names in the space, ask all those questions that perhaps their tutors aren't able to help them with, not bad.
Well, it brings the young people into the sector, right? And these are all students that are like mining, engineering, metallurgy, earth sciences, finance. I mean, and it'll be from the local universities. It would be McGill or Concordia and those types.
Brilliant.
And we'll take care of them.
You'll take care of them. I think it'll be a super, super opportunity for all of them. And I don't know what the prize is, but I imagine it'll be nice. Okay. I need to ask.
Yes.
The companies coming to this thing, right? You're kind of full up. I think you're nearly
we're,
there, right?
We're getting there.
Right, okay.
I'm going to say we're getting there. Yeah,
okay, there's a handful of slots left for anyone listening in who wants to go there. And by the way, I would recommend that people, I'm talking to this camera, I would recommend if you're not in it, there's a handful of slots, go do it. There you go.
Yeah.
That's as promotional as I get.
Oh, that's great. That's great. We're the best, I'm going to say that we are the best value because I'm an old IR gal, I want to make sure that people are getting a really good product for a really fair price.
Right.
And that's what I've endeavored to do with this and bring in global investors so they can look at all of these great
That's what I was about to say. It's like, what are they getting out of this? You've told us about a few of the themes that are going on here, but clearly access to capital and from far and wide is what they're there for. Are they going to get that?
Well, we are doing our very best. That's why I'm here in London. I'm here to meet with some of the larger funds. I'm doing a lot of networking, a lot of marketing on behalf of the conference, and I really want that global investment audience to come. And, that's why I did it in Quebec City. I mean, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a beautiful Tier 1 investment conference. The companies are treated very well. They each have their own private one-on-one room dedicated to them. They've got opportunities to be interviewed by other media groups. Sorry, Matt. On the green
it's all
carpet.
good. We need it
but,
all.
you know, they've got BTV, they've got Ellis Martin Report, Mining Network, ourselves, Kitco.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself is worth
It's good, guys.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that is all free as well. So, and I'm really excited to say that we had full translation this year. So because we're in Quebec, we want to make sure that we're ticking all the right boxes, and the government is one of our large sponsors as well. So we, this year, we're doing full translation, French to English, English to French, and on the feeds, you'll be able, when you're watching those feeds, you'll be able to select original language, French or English.
Okay.
So we're doing our part, and we're doing everything that we should be doing in our host province.
Right. That's the companies. So they're getting a lot out of this, a lot of bang for buck. And we've seen the rise of lots of conferences coming up. And I think we've got companies coming back and reporting that they're not seeing investors there. And that's what they're paying for. It sounds like a bunch of fun lined up by you, and a bunch of not just local investors, but international investors. Good. Now, what are the investors getting from it?
So the investors are obviously, I'm not prepared to bust this thing wide open and have 200 companies. That's not what this is about. It's, as I say, inclusive but exclusive. So we are never going to have any more than 65 companies be able to really attend and do a good job of taking care of everyone.
Right.
And that means the investor gets to see the company that they want to see. And also the company gets a good full roster of meetings as well. So that's important. The investor comes, they don't pay anything, obviously. They're touring in a fantastic city. We have a great lineup of speakers and panelists.
Yeah.
You know, Rick Rule is joining us. I'm having conversations with a couple of other people that I can't mention. But, we're going to have some really great panels. I've got a fantastic power panel that I'm working on right now with some of the top women in the industry. We're going to have an ESG panel, which, of course, is important.
Yeah.
A panel on critical metals security that I'm working with right now with some major government officials, and a panel on clean energy as well, and probably a uranium corner, the way things are shaping
Why
up.
not? Hot.
Yeah.
Can I say, just as a company, one of the things that kind of particularly frustrates us when we give companies money and they come to these conferences, and what some conference organizers do is they just want it to look busy, right? Busy looking busy. About 50% of the conversations, the meetings, are with service suppliers.
Yes.
Trying to sell the company something. It's like,
Yes.
it's not what I'm here for. I don't want that. So is there a kind of vetting process that you go through with the investors that come through?
Yes. And I'm going to say, as a conference convener, we do have to, we do have sponsors such as yourself, and we give you access to our one-on-one calendar, our MeetMax calendar.
Yeah.
But I always say to people like yourselves who also have a business that make sure you're very upfront with the client when you're saying, hey, everyone knows you, of course. But just to be upfront with them as to what they want, and then it's up to that company whether they want to take that meeting or not. But we're not letting in vendors unless they are a proper sponsor.
Okay.
And then it just really, but we're not just willy-nilly letting everybody in. Again, it's invitation only. We are exclusive. So even the investors, if they're not on our list, they have to be invited. So they've got to inquire, can I come? Then there's a vetting process. Then they're allowed in.
I am so looking forward to this one. One last question. Plans for more dates in the diary?
Yes, we've actually, we're working with them right now on a rolling 5-year calendar.
Right.
It will always be in June, that week of next year.
And you got it yourself this year.
I know, I'm so happy. PDAC moved back to where they belong.
Quite right.
Thank you very much.
Freezing cold.
Yes, and we're also, right after the Grand Prix
Right.
in Montreal. So, Grand Prix is on Sunday. We commence on Monday.
Right.
And we've got, like O3 Mining's doing the gala event,
Right.
and Laurentian is doing night 2, and Stiefel's doing the after dark events.
Right.
So we've got lots of networking.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's the mining investment event of the North.
Yes.
Any other venues in the offing?
Well, we are manifesting right now, but we are very, very seriously looking at a critical metals security conference,
Right.
which would very much be like a Davos style
Right.
conference, not shadowy investors, but
Right.
extremely exclusive. I can't really say where right now. I know where, but I can't say it right now. But that's what we're looking at, and that would be in the fall of next year.
So same values, different locations.
Same value,
slightly
different location.
Yeah.
It would be a neutral international location. I'm going to say that much. And the format would be very interesting because companies would present during breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then the one-on-ones would be arranged by us, and they would be conducted in between, and there'd be lots of networking opportunities as well. Very, very sort of quiet room for maybe 35 companies over 3 days.
Okay. So the rise of the critical mineral companies will be aided by you.
Yes, I'm
well
hoping.
done.
I'm hoping. And this would be, we would look to some of the major governments to be the major sponsors, the investment arms of the government.
I suspect they'll take your call. Joanne, thank you so much for coming in to
you.
sharing, give us an update.
Thank you so much
And
for
well
having me.
done. And well
Thank you.
done. And we'll see you hopefully soon. Maybe
Yes.
I'm going to see you next week, aren't I?
Absolutely.
You're still here.
Yes, I'm here
Can't
for
get rid
another
of-
week. They
can't
can't
get
get
rid
rid
of
of me. I know. I'm like a bad penny. I keep turning up everywhere.
I can see you soon.